Did you know that CBS executives watched A Charlie Brown Christmas 3 weeks before it aired and told the producers it would be a complete disaster? They said the animation was crude, the music was wrong, and that 48-second Bible reading would scare away sponsors. They only aired it because it was already listed in TV Guide. Then 15.5 million households tuned in. And one of those same executives called the producer to say they were ordering 4 more specials, but wanted him to know his aunt in New Jersey still didn't like it. That petty comment captures just how wrong the experts got this one. Here are 21 fascinating facts about the most popular Christmas special ever produced. Before we dive in, hit subscribe for more classic movie secrets and enjoy this special episode.
Yes, he's even a good king. No.
Number 21. The special only exists because of baseball. The entire project traces back to Willie Mays. In 1963, documentary producer Lee Mendelson finished a film called A Man Named Mays about the legendary outfielder. When he discovered Charles Schulz's Peanuts comic strip, he thought he should follow up the world's greatest baseball player with the world's worst, Charlie Brown. Schulz only agreed to meet because he had enjoyed the Mays documentary. Without baseball, there's no Charlie Brown Christmas. Number 20. They had 4 days to pitch the idea. When Peanuts appeared on the cover of Time magazine on April 9, 1965, a Coca-Cola advertising executive remembered some animation clips Mendelson had made and called about sponsoring a Christmas special. Mendelson immediately phoned Schulz and said he just sold a Charlie Brown Christmas. Schulz replied, "What's that?" Mendelson answered, "Is something you're going to write tomorrow." They had just 4 days to submit an outline. Schulz and Mendelson wrote the entire concept in less than 24 hours. 1 page, triple-spaced. Number 19. The budget was impossibly small. The special was produced for just $76,000, roughly $750,000 in today's money, and they still went $20,000 over budget. When animator Bill Melendez called legendary producer Bill Hanna for advice on how to budget an animated special, Hanna refused to share any trade secrets. Melendez had never directed a half-hour special before. For comparison, a typical Hanna-Barbera production cost several times more and took much longer to produce. Number 18. Ronald Reagan's brother almost killed it. Mid-production, Neil Reagan, the older brother of future President Ronald Reagan, visited the studio. He was an executive at the advertising agency representing Coca-Cola. Without seeing the finished animation or hearing the music, he thought it looked terrible and warned that if he told Coca-Cola, they would cancel the whole project. Producer Lee Mendelson had to convince him to stay quiet and trust the process. Number 17. It was finished just 10 days before broadcast. The production timeline was brutal. 6 months from concept to broadcast. With animation only beginning in month 3, the team produced roughly 13,000 drawings in that window. The finished special was completed just 10 days before the December 9, 1965 premiere. When the production team watched the final cut, director Bill Melendez turned to his crew and said, "My golly, we've killed it." Number 16. One animator made a prophecy that came true. After that devastating screening where everyone thought they'd failed, animator Ed Levitt stood up and made a prediction. He told the room, "This is the best special you'll ever make. This show is going to run for 100 years. That was 1965. The special has now aired for 60 consecutive years, and Levitt's prediction is looking conservative. Number 15. CBS had 5 major complaints. When CBS executives screened the special 3 weeks before broadcast, they compiled a list of everything wrong with it. First, the pacing was too slow. Second, the animation was too simple compared to Hanna-Barbera productions. Third, the jazz music didn't fit. It was nightclub music, too sophisticated for kids. Fourth, the child voice actors sounded amateurish. And fifth, the Bible readings scared them. Fred Silverman, who would later become one of television's most powerful executives, recalled that the general reaction was disappointment. Number 14. The 6-year-old who couldn't read her lines. Charles Schulz insisted on using real children instead of adult voice actors, which was unheard of in 1965. Kathy Steinberg, who voiced Sally, was only 6 years old and couldn't read. Producers had to feed her lines phonetically, 1 word at a time, which actually created Sally's distinctive stilted delivery. The entire voice recording was completed in a single day amid total chaos. Number 13. Jefferson Airplane came to get autographs. During that chaotic recording session, psychedelic rock band Jefferson Airplane was recording in the studio next door when they heard a bunch of kids were voicing Peanuts characters. The band members came over to get the children's autographs. In 1965, Charlie Brown was already more famous than one of San Francisco's biggest rock bands. Number 12. Charles Schulz walked out over the laugh track. In 1965, it was unthinkable to produce a TV comedy without canned laughter. Even the Flintstones used one. When Lee Mendelson suggested adding a laugh track to the special, Schulz reportedly stood up and left the room without saying a word. He came back a few minutes later and acted like nothing happened. A version with canned laughter was actually produced, but it never aired. Schulz won that battle. Number 11. The Bible reading almost didn't happen. Both Mendelson and Melendez oppose, including Linus's scripture reading. Mendelson told Schulz directly, "You can't read from the Bible on network television." Schulz's response became legendary. "If we don't do it, who will?" When pushed further, he delivered an ultimatum. "If we don't do it, we don't do it at all." The 48-second reading of Luke 2:8-14 stayed in and became the emotional heart of the special. Number 10. The hidden symbolism when Linus drops his blanket. Here's something most viewers miss even after watching dozens of times. During Linus's famous speech, he drops his security blanket, the only time this happens in Peanuts history. Watch carefully. It happens at the exact moment Linus says, "Fear not." Many believe this was intentionally symbolic. Linus releases his source of security at the precise moment he proclaims there is no need for fear. At the special's end, Linus lays his blanket at the foot of the Christmas tree. Number 9. The composer was discovered on the Golden Gate Bridge. Lee Mendelson heard Vince Guaraldi's "Cast Your Fate to the Wind" playing on KSFO radio while driving over the Golden Gate Bridge in 1963. He described the sound as adult-like but also childlike, perfect for these characters. He didn't know who composed it. He had to call the San Francisco Chronicle's jazz critic just to identify Guaraldi. That chance encounter while crossing a bridge created one of the most beloved soundtracks in television history. Number 8. The lyrics were written in 10 minutes on an envelope. "Christmas Time Is Here" is now considered a holiday standard covered by hundreds of artists. Lee Mendelson wrote those lyrics in 10 minutes, scribbling on the back of an envelope just 2 weeks before the special aired. The children's choir came from St. Paul's Episcopal Church in San Rafael, California. The boys were paid $5 per session plus ice cream and received no royalties for decades. Number 7. The choir finally got paid after 59 years. Those choir members who sang "Christmas Time Is Here" received no royalty payments until 2024, when CBS Sunday Morning featured surviving members of the original recording. Only after that publicity did they finally receive residuals from digital downloads. For 59 years, their voices were heard by billions of people, and they had nothing to show for it except memories and ice cream. Number 6. It became the second best-selling jazz album ever. The soundtrack has sold over 5 million copies, earning 5 times platinum certification. It's the second best-selling jazz album in history, behind only Miles Davis's "Kinda Blue." The album was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2007 and the Library of Congress National Recording Registry in 2012. Each session musician was paid approximately $128. The entire soundtrack was recorded in just 3 hours. Number 5. The special killed an entire industry. Aluminum Christmas trees were a huge trend in the early 1960s. Modern, space age, no needles to clean. They cost about $25 each, around $265 today. When Lucy demands a big pink aluminum tree and Charlie Brown rejects it for a pathetic real one, audiences got the message. Aluminum tree sales collapsed immediately after the special aired. By 1970, the aluminum specialty company discontinued production entirely. Nearly 1 million aluminum trees ended up in the trash. In 2005, a rare 7-foot pink aluminum tree, exactly what Lucy asked for, sold on eBay for $3,600. Number 4. Snoopy's voice is just sped up gibberish. Bill Melendez not only directed the special, he also voiced Snoopy. His technique was simple. He spoke random gibberish and then sped up the tape. Charles Schulz refused to let the dog speak actual English. Melendez continued voicing Snoopy for over 40 years until his death in 2008. His archive recordings are still used in Peanuts productions today. Number 3. The animation errors that embarrassed Schulz for decades. The rushed production left numerous errors that Charles Schulz admitted still embarrassed him years later. Lucy's psychiatric booth changes its wording twice in less than a minute. Charlie Brown's nose disappears for 8 frames. Tree branches mysteriously grow between scenes. Schulz blamed 2 animators who didn't know what the other was doing. A second Linus appears among the other kids after his speech, even though he was just behind Charlie Brown. And perhaps most embarrassing, Schultz's own name was misspelled in the credits as Schulz with a T. Number 2. The petty phone call that proved everyone wrong. When the special aired on December 9, 1965, it was watched by 15.5 million households, nearly half of everyone watching television that night. It became the second highest rated show of the week. One CBS executive called Lee Mendelson afterward and delivered a message that became Hollywood legend. We're ordering 4 more specials. But I wanted you to know my aunt in New Jersey didn't like it either. Even in success, some executives couldn't admit they'd been completely wrong. Number 1. The streaming war that sparked public outrage. For 56 consecutive years, from 1965 to 2021, A Charlie Brown Christmas aired free on broadcast television. First CBS for 35 years, then ABC for another 19. Every American family could watch it. Then in October 2020, Apple TV Plus acquired exclusive streaming rights, ending a tradition older than most viewers. Approximately 250,000 people signed a petition demanding it return to free broadcast. Apple briefly partnered with PBS, but that ended. In October 2025, Apple announced a 5-year extension through 2030. The special that CBS almost didn't air because it was too uncommercial is now locked behind a $12.99 monthly subscription. If you love this episode, make sure to click here and watch more crazy movie facts like this one. The story of a special that nobody believed in, made for almost no money, finished at the last minute, and declared a disaster by every expert who saw it. And yet, here we are, 60 years later, still watching Charlie Brown pick that sad little tree while Vince Guaraldi's piano plays. What surprises you most? That CBS executives hated everything about it, or that the choir kids weren't paid for 59 years? Drop your answer in the comments. If you want more behind-the-scenes secrets from classic movies and TV series, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the next episode.